return them for a full refund.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's classic rock station. We're getting there, closer and closer to Friday, closer and closer to the weekend, and it's a pretty big weekend here on Delmarva. But we've got the Polar Bear Plunge, we've got the Fire and Ice Festival, lots happening in our area, and it's all part of what makes Coast Life so great. We're your hosts. I'm Leah Rizzo.
And I'm Charlie Sokaitis.
And we always like to start the show, if you've never joined us before, for an episode of Coast Life, talking about things that you're talking about, things that maybe you can bring home, discuss with your family at dinner tonight, get their opinions on. And we thought this one was kind of interesting because I think everybody kind of knows a negative mindset can be draining if you're exposed to it too much.
Yes, obviously.
Negative Nancy, they've even got a nickname. But we don't talk a lot about toxic positivity.
We don't, and the thing about toxic positivity is I think it's something that everybody has a little bit of, or
Sure.
I'm saying that because I do, and I hope everybody has a little bit of it. I'm not quite sure where that line is.
I'm not quite sure where the line is either, but toxic positivity is sort of, I think it boils down to kind of reading a room a little bit. You know, you see that everybody's kind of struggling in a grumpy mood. If something happens, there's, we got this, guys, and sometimes there's just too much.
Yeah.
And it is hard to say what that too much is because I can't necessarily put my finger on it, but I know when I feel it when somebody is like, we can do it. And I'm like, shh, stop it.
Not every situation requires the sunshine that you can bring to it. Sometimes it is just stressful. You got to let it be stressful. Or sometimes it is a period where people might be a little bit down and you actually have to let them be a little bit down. It doesn't always help to just be like, it's going to turn around, things are going to be great. And that person is just like, I'm not feeling at all what you're saying right now.
I think there's also some, and I don't want to say danger necessarily, but I think there is some risk on social media of toxic positivity kind of falling on the shoulders of influencers. When they're like, this is how I get up in the day and everything is positive and everything is great and I eat all my vegetables first thing in the morning. And you're seeing this and you're like, man, am I miserable because I can't do this?
Well, twofold. You're right. Am I miserable because I can't do this? But also, we didn't see the 18 takes it took to make that video.
Right.
And the hair pulling out as they were editing that video. So it's not necessarily a realistic version of the world. I mean, we all have our good days and our bad days. And again, sometimes you do need somebody to say, hey, buck up, it's going to be okay. That does help in the right situation. But I think you were on to something, Leah, with the read the room.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place. And if it's all the time, it's just as destructive as if somebody's negative all the time. There has to be a balance.
Yeah, and I think too, part of reading that room is even saying, I know things are hard right now, but because we're a good group, we've got this. Like you can inspire the people, but it's knowing that people are at their low point and not just coming in like, everything's still good, everything's still great, because you know that people around you are like, are you sure?
And if it reads too false, then it doesn't come through as honest, it doesn't come through as valid.
I think that's true too. And I think that authenticity is something that people, and especially as some of the younger generations, people in their 20s that have grown up attached to social media are craving that authenticity because they're not necessarily sure that they're getting it with those perfect morning routines and feeling that true positivity where they're like, okay, I did it. I woke up early. I ate my vegetables. Why am I still sad?
Well, and it's the hardest thing to be authentic. Certain people just are.
Sure.
And other people are more chameleons. They kind of mix and match and whatever. And it's okay to be either of those things. You just don't want to try to pretend to be whatever version you're not.
Yes, and I think that is an important detail. And I think, as you comb through social media, as you get older, you kind of know, okay, there's 18 takes behind this perfect shot. Yeah. And especially in our industry, we know there's many takes that go into acquiring that perfect shot. But I think where it gets risky, where it gets dicey are for the underdeveloped brains that we have. Your brain's not fully there until you're 25.
Yeah.
So up until then, you really could struggle. And I think it's hard for older adults to think back to that time.
It's always hard to remember what it was like at that time.
Yeah,
I mean,
for good reason.
Because there's hormones going on, there's highs, there's lows. You don't know what you don't know yet.
Yes.
You know, so you look at things that look perfect and you go, why can't I have that? And again, nobody's perfect. Doesn't mean that you can't strive for it. Doesn't even mean that some of those things aren't good tips to you know, get up early, work out, eat right. Those are great things to strive for, but it's not going to be 100% all the time. And when you try to make it that way or portray that it's that way, that can also be dangerous.
Yes, and I feel like, you know, I started 2025 off good. Even last year. Last year I was like, all right, I'm going to start getting up. I'm going to start working out. I finally have established for the first time in my life like a good workout routine. And it was so hard for me to stop hitting snooze every morning 8 billion times until my man was like, stop it.
He was like, I am also here and would like to get some sleep, so pick a lane.
And I just don't know what it was that I was having so much trouble, like just getting up, getting started. And then I was on a roll. I was doing it. I was doing great. And then this week I've hit that lull and I'm like, man, I'm having a really hard time getting over that hump again. And so now I'm back to working out in the afternoon, which isn't my preference. I'm hitting snooze, which I hate. So we'll get there. But right now...
It's great when you can be in a routine. When you get knocked out of the routine, it's hard to get back into it. You got to give yourself a little latitude because everybody's going to get knocked off their routine now and then. But if you don't, you know, put too much pressure on yourself, you also have to have on the other side some pressure. Like there's a balance.
Pressure.
You know.
It is. I think that right there is the perfect amount of positivity that you need. The reminder that you don't have to be perfect all the time and to give yourself that grace and that space to be like, well, maybe we're not at our best today, but we'll get there.
All right, let's move on to our next talker here, though, and I like this one. We're talking about vacation.
Oh, yeah.
So let me look exactly how we wrote it down. We were reading that, and we've got a boss in the room today, or in the house today, but it says vacations are good for employees. Remember that. Vacations are good for employees. So for the employers out there, it's not, we don't just want the time out. It's good for us and for you.
It is, because I'm sure our employers get sick of us too. Like, please, get out of here.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important, even if it's just a staycation, to get out of the office and to completely disconnect, which I know is really hard for a lot of us. Don't answer emails unless it's completely, entirely urgent. Don't email your coworkers who are on vacation unless you absolutely have to get an answer from them. But try to come up with that plan in the office, I think, beforehand, so that you don't have to give them that emergency call. Discuss who's going to step up and pick up what.
And I like that you brought up the staycation thing, because not everybody can afford to, you know, take some international trip or do whatever. But as long as you are getting a little bit of time to sort of reset, to maybe get back on schedule for things that you've been knocked off on schedule, or maybe take a break from the stuff that you've been doing on that routine because your body needs it, your brain needs it. It's healthy, and generally what people have found is when you come back from those things, you end up being a better employee, a better worker, you're more engaged, you're maybe even more creative, you know, things like that make a big difference. So it is good to take a step away and remember, while work is important and you should work hard while you're at work,
absolutely,
you do need to get some time to rest.
Yes, you do. And I think if you are planning a staycation, there's no better place to enjoy a staycation than here along coastal Delmarva. There's so much to do, whether we're in the heights of summer or even in the off season. There is plenty to do.
Lots to do, up to and including just go to the beach. It's real cheap. You lay out a towel, you sit out, you bring some snacks, and you have just a wonderful day. Probably not this week, but some week.
That's right. But we do have lots to engage with you about when it comes to celebrating this community. We'll see what's coming down the line today on CoastLife. It's Thursday. That means we're sipping tea and we're spilling it. We're going to find out if the person writing in is wrong for not wanting to babysit for free. Juicy.
And of course, we're going to have the Second Street Players here talking about their new production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. If we're not careful, they're going to put Leah and I in that same place.
Yikes! And as we gear up to enjoy some football and eat tons of food, we've also got an opportunity for you to think of others who might be struggling with food insecurity. All that and more is coming up today on CoastLife.
CoastLife is sponsored by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group. The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the first state's coldest and most beloved traditions. This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
Call everyone you know. Furniture & More's Macaulay Street Milford warehouse is having a massive one-day-only clearance event. Bring your truck, load it up, save on overstock, closeout, discontinued merchandise, floor samples, and more. One day only. Saturday, February 1st, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Save up to 70% off. Huge mattress selection, factory direct pricing at Furniture & More's warehouse, 730 Macaulay Street, Milford.
Hey, bath guy, do you do roofs? Nope. Do you do lawns? Negatory. Do you do windows and siding? Not a chance.
At Peninsula Bath, we're your local pros for bathroom remodeling, and that's it. Top quality, customer focused, and competitively priced. Ask about our free shower door upgrade and our neediest bathroom contest.
Hey Dad, can you take out the trash?
No, son, not a chance.
Peninsula Bath.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empowered children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by CoastTV.
Well, sports fans, we know we've got a lot of excited Eagles fans here along Delmarva's coast for the upcoming weekend. But while you're planning your big game food and your parties, you don't want to forget about those of us who might be without some of the food this time of year. And so in order to fill you in and give you an opportunity to give back to our community and make sure nobody goes hungry, we've got Chad Robinson with the Food Bank, Vice President and of External Affairs, joining us on the Coast Life Couch. How you been?
I've been great. How are you?
We're doing great.
That's what we like to hear.
So we know that there's a huge game coming up down the line here in the world of football, but you guys have your own sort of soup, S-O-U-P, bowl as well for the Food Bank.
We do. So this is always an exciting time of year for so many as they get prepared for the big game and those great parties that folks love to have. And so during this time of year, it's really exciting to think about a way that you can give back. And so an easy way to do that is to think about allowing folks to consider bringing canned soup products to your party, to a restaurant. If you own a restaurant and you're thinking about having a big event on the big day, there's always opportunities to include a chance to give back in that.
I love that, and I think that's a great way to, get your friends involved, get them to give back to our community as well, because it's hard sometimes, I think, to think outside that big picture while we are eating, what some might say, an obscene amount of food during the game, because for a lot of us, that's the point. It's to gather, it's to eat together, it's to have that sense of community, and it's easy to kind of push those that don't have regular access to food out of our minds. So this is a good time to get your friends and family involved, and then maybe you can get out together and make your donations.
Yeah, I think so. I always tell folks that I think every highlight moment in our lives revolves around food, and that includes the big game.
That's true.
When we're supporting our team and we want to get our friends together, it's a great opportunity to say, okay, how can we give back? And so encouraging your friends to bring a canned food item that day, particularly maybe soup.
Makes sense.
Or if you're considering, opportunities to engage others. So maybe your faith community that meets on Sunday morning. That's a great day on game day to encourage all of your congregants to bring soup that day. Or if you have a restaurant or a place where folks gather, considering that as well. So it's a way really that lots of folks can get involved, but it's an easy way also to include others in that as you figure out how you're going to celebrate.
For sure. So once people have gotten their friends, gotten their family, gotten their community involved, and they've collected canned goods, soup, and are feeling good about giving back to their community, where should they deliver all that they've collected?
So they can drop things off to either our Milford or Newark locations. And if you get a really big haul because you had a heck of a party, then just give us a call and we can talk to you about making a pickup if it's a significant donation.
Yeah, I mean, Chad, we also tend to talk to you a lot around the holiday season. I think that's when food insecurity is top of mind for a lot of people. But there are individuals out there and families out there really that struggle with food insecurity all year long.
Right.
How do you kind of keep encouraging people to think of those families and keep that sort of top of mind year round for folks who maybe were a little bit luckier this year, feeling a little extra fortunate?
Sure. I think that we always say hunger doesn't go on vacation. That's true. And so when you really think about that throughout the year, as we have these moments like the big game, we can think about an opportunity to give back. And so I just encourage folks to think about what is the course of your daily routine. What's the course of your year? What are the times that you get together? And thinking about that as an opportunity to give back. It can be something as simple as going to the grocery store yourself. If you think about an opportunity of going to the grocery store yourself and committing to picking up a couple of extra cans or something that you can make a donation to the food bank or your local food pantry, then that's something that we do consistently throughout the year that reminds us that we are fortunate and that because we are fortunate, we have an opportunity to give back to others.
I love that. I think that's a great message for our viewers to kind of walk away with today. And if you are heading to the store, maybe pick up something else for a family or an individual who may be in need, because I think unfortunately the other reality is we're only ever a few degrees away from it being us that could utilize the food bank and all that you guys do.
I totally agree. I think that we sometimes it's easy to misunderstand or to not think about our own blessing. And I think that when we have an opportunity to think about our own grace and what we've been able to achieve and accomplish, then we say, I have an opportunity to give back to others. And an easy way to do that is to just pick up those couple extra cans, encourage others to do the same, and especially as we have these moments of celebration and highlight, that we come together and say this is an opportunity to do that as well.
Perfect. Well, regardless of whether or not the team that you are rooting for wins, you and your friends can be big winners if you do participate in a food drive. Encourage your friends and family to bring something extra for a family that is a little bit more in need this year, and then everybody will win, right?
That's right.
Well, Chad, as always, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, so glad to be here.
Filling us in on what the food bank is up to, because it's always something good.
Thank you.
Of course, but we have more Coast Life. That's going to be good, and that's headed your way when we get back.
Taylor Swift entering the professional football world was massive.
It's been a perfect storm. Viewership is money.
It instantly created this sense of FOMO for everyone.
The Swift Effect, Episode 2, The Swift Effect on the NFL. This Saturday at noon on CoastTV. Sponsored locally on CoastTV by Pohanka Kia. Come experience the Pohanka difference.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Thank you for calling Coastal Comfort.
This is a complimentary call. A couple of years ago, I had my heat pumps replaced. Last night, I noticed one of them wasn't working right. Somebody was out here within a couple of hours, and it's working perfectly. I was in the service industry for 33 years. Good service is something you can't find today. It very much is appreciated. Your crew is a good crew. Really fine people are professional and they're efficient.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Limited space holding you back? Dive into your dreams with Miller Pools and Outdoor Living.
Our concrete pools are long-lasting and fully customizable to fit anywhere in your outdoor living space. Whether you're dreaming of an elegant design or something simple, we'll guide you through the process every step of the way. We prioritize your schedule and offer special financing options. We also specialize in pool decks, built-in pool bars, cabanas, outdoor kitchens, renovations, and upgrades.
Call Miller Pools and Outdoor Living for summer 2025 pool cleaning and service.
For 150 years, Ocean City, Maryland has been somewhere to smile about. From our beautiful beaches to our iconic boardwalk, we've been creating memories that last a lifetime, whether you're chasing the perfect wave, a hole-in-one, or a sunset stroll. Celebrate our 150th anniversary with 150 days of celebrations, special events, and deals all year long. Book now and save in 2025 at ococean.com/150. Ocean City, Maryland, somewhere to smile about.
For every season, every weather moment, stay ahead with the Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone. Just call 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead and Dallas Federico.
Is your home ready for the cold? Stay warm and worry-free with North Star Heating and Air Conditioning. The Eastern Shore's trusted name in heating and cooling, offering 24-hour service, free estimates, and expert technicians. We handle plumbing, electrical services, and water heaters too.
Family owned, on the shore for 26 years. We're not new, we're just the best.
Call or visit online today to save 30% with a North Star maintenance contract.
If you get lost, follow the North Star, the fastest service on Delmarva.
Hi, this is Jimmy Hoppa inviting you to join us as we take the cross to the country. Christian country and Southern gospel, all to celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Taking the cross to the country, Sunday mornings at 8 on Coast Country. Sponsored by Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling.
Welcome back to Coast Life, guys. We all know the world is a stage, and because of that, today we've got some folks from the 2nd Street Players talking about their next great play. It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And with me here, I've got Susannah Griffin and Greg Ellis. And guys, we love that you're in studio. Let's start with what it's like to be up on stage, having to remember all these lines, having to get through it in front of people. How do you prepare for all that?
Well, I mean, you start in the beginning working out with a great director and a great production team, and if they cast the right people, really everything seems to flow from that. And then you just take time over the weeks and months working through the script, and then it's really just an individual challenge because everybody has different ways that they memorize lines. So.
And Greg, you're going to have this big role. Why did you want that role? Is it something that's completely the opposite of you? Is it like you? Tell me something about how you relate.
It's completely the opposite of me. It's the best role on the show. I think it's better than McMurphy or Miss Ratchet.
Okay.
We have some disagreement on what that role is.
Well, they're bigger roles, but they're both polar opposites, and I bounce between them, and so I have much more fun to do my role. It's a great role. I have a great monologue, and I really love it. It's great.
And Nurse Ratchet is famous all over the place.
Yes.
So what did you do to prepare? Do you watch how anybody else has done it, or you just bring your own ideas to it? How does that work?
Well, I had seen the original film, of course, but I try not to watch what other people do. It's an interesting part because I've actually said to my cast members, it's a very lonely part to play because all the patients in the mental institution are sort of like a merry band, and they have fun together and they talk a lot with each other. But Nurse Ratched, no one really talks to her, no one likes her, and there's not one moment of break. So for me, the big challenge was humanizing her, having her not just be pure evil, because nobody just wants to watch pure anything. You wanna have a reason to root for everybody at least a little bit. So
yeah, and it makes the character more dynamic. It makes it more worth watching. So let's talk a little bit more about this specific play. Some folks may have seen the movie that are going to go, but how is this different, or how does this set up?
I would say it tracks pretty closely with the original novel by Ken Kesey. There are some pretty specific differences from the film, but anybody that has either read the book or has seen the film will feel very comfortable. I mean, sometimes when you go to see plays, they can be quite different from what people are used to on screen. But this one is a pretty close adaptation. I mean, it's centered in the mental institution, and Nurse Ratched runs the ward where these men live, and McMurphy comes there as a patient, and it really just transforms everyone's life. His presence there just changes every dynamic.
And it feels like this is, the kind of thing that fits well on a stage. It is sort of all compartmentalized in one sort of location. So how does that play in, in terms of pulling it off in a place like 2nd Street?
Well, it makes it a lot easier when you only have one set. And most of the people are on stage most of the time all together. So it's completely ensemble piece, and you have to really trust your other actors. It works great in a small space. It will work also in a big space. But it's a classic play, not in the fact that the stuff is still happening. It's classic in the fact that it is funny, which people don't realize. It's funny and serious and emotional, and that is always the best theater. Always.
When you can get a little mix of that,
Yeah.
it just feels more human. You guys already have a number of the tickets sold.
Yes. Right.
The play's coming up next Friday. So for folks that want to go, how do they go about getting tickets? What do they need to know?
Well, we're running 2 weekends, the weekend of the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then the following weekend, the 14th, 15th, and 16th. We have Friday night and Saturday night shows at 7 p.m.
Right.
and Sunday shows at 2 p.m. And they can go online to secondstreetplayers.com, or they can call the theater in Milford. It's Riverfront Theater.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
you.
We really appreciate it. We can't wait to see this show. I think it's one of those things that I'm going to have to make sure I get out and come check out because it's a good one. And we
It
can't
is a
wait to
great
see what
one.
you two do with it and the rest of the cast as well. We're going to take a break here, but don't go anywhere. When we return, we're going to be talking about Ocean City, where the Chamber of Commerce has some interesting things going on. We'll be right back.
Stanley Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses across America every year, using powerful equipment custom built by us. We'll remove the buildup of dirt, dust, allergens, grime, and contaminants seen and unseen from your home and business. America's professional deep cleaner for over 75 years. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
This may not seem like the time to think about replacing or resurfacing your deck, but your safety can't wait.
Slippery peeling paint, rotten boards, and uneven steps can lead to accidents. In fact, 20% of non-fatal falls happen on unsafe surfaces.
Paul Davis builds decks year-round with non-slip surfaces that look like wood. Take advantage of our winter blowout sale, half off labor, a free fire pit, and no interest, no payments until 2026. Call today for your free deck inspection.
Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Get covered from the rain with a free CoastTV umbrella. Simply enter at CoastTVumbrella.com for a chance to win. Then catch CoastTV News weekdays to see if you've won. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
At Bay to Beach Builders, we believe your home should reflect your life, dreams, and style. From the foundation to the finishing touches, every detail is designed and crafted just for you. But what makes us different? One defining characteristic is our built-by-hand cabinetry, featuring true Amish craftsmanship with dovetailed joints and soft-close hinges. With countless accessories to choose from in our design studios, we ensure every space in your home works beautifully for you. Bay to Beach Builders. Imagine your home. Create your space. Live your life.
More than 350 home sales each year. More than 350 million in sales annually. Double the performance of any other realtor in Sussex County. When it comes to the single biggest purchase of your lifetime, you want the best in the business. You want the Leah and Wilkinson Group.
The Leah and Wilkinson Group in Lewis, Delaware is a proud affiliate of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services PenFed Realty.
We believe that a great community health system reflects the community it serves. And like Sussex County itself, we've been on an exciting journey of growth and transformation, evolving from a trusted community hospital to the region's premier healthcare provider and Sussex County's most comprehensive health system. We're proud to be on this journey together, miles ahead, but by your side the entire way, because Sussex County is our specialty.
Hi, this is Jimmy Hoppa inviting you to join us as we take the cross to the country. Christian country and Southern gospel, all to celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Taking the cross to the country, Sunday mornings at 8 on Coast Country, sponsored by Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling.
Well, Coast Life, we know it's tempting to think that there's not a whole lot going on in our area during the winter months. You want an excuse to stay inside. But if you watch Coast Life, you know that that's not true. There's plenty going on all along coastal Delmarva and in Ocean City. The month of February is going to be a busy one. We've got Amy Thompson, Executive Director of the Ocean City Chamber of Commerce, joining us on the Coast Life couch today. And you've got 2 events to tell us about. One of them has to do with some chocolate.
Yes, it does. And this is a new event for us. We're calling it Like Water for Chocolate.
Ooh.
It is a scavenger hunt.
Fun.
So, it's mid-February. You don't want to really get out of the house, but you kind of do. You kind of stir crazy. So what we've set up are 14 stops between West Ocean City and kind of the lower end of the island. So you go in, You look for a clue, you get a little bit of chocolate.
Ooh.
And it'll culminate at Ocean's 13, where we'll have a drawing if you complete all the stops and get all the clues. Each of the stops will be contributing towards a pretty big prize basket for the drawing.
There you go. That sounds really fun. I think everybody loves a good scavenger hunt. Everybody loves to explore Ocean City, and everybody likes to get a little taste of chocolate as they explore. So that sounds like a really great event. Do people need to pay to participate or grab tickets online?
Nope. Any of the stops along the way, they can grab the card and they can just begin wherever they want to begin. They can start at the Chamber there in West Ocean City, big gigantic building. Happy to visit, visitor center, welcome, and just kind of get people on their way. And what I love about it is, I don't know about you, but in my community, there's plenty of shops that I've never been in.
Yes.
And I just need that little bit of motivation to step inside and go, oh man, this is really cool. Like all kinds, we've got restaurants, we've got retail shops, we've got all manner of participants in this, and it's just meant to get people to walk in the door.
Yep, and then you keep going back, and you bring your friends when they come down, and you bring your family when they come down, and you just make, I know for me, I like to make a girls' day out of it, and it just sounds like a super easy, fun way to do that.
Yes.
Now for the Ocean City Chamber, you guys also have a pretty big anniversary, pretty big birthday coming up that you guys are celebrating too.
We're turning 75. Wow. Which is very cool because the town of Ocean City is also turning 150.
Nice.
So there's a lot of celebrations in 2025 happening, and every year the Chamber does a thing called the Awards Celebration, where we recognize people in the community who embody the values, the qualities that we want to see more of.
Sure.
So we have Nonprofit of the Year, First Responder, Business of the Year, Citizen, a variety of different areas. And what's cool is we're doing it Oscars style.
Ooh, fun.
So we have nominees in each category, and the winner will be revealed that evening. And it's a diamond celebration, 75 years. And it's just going to be an evening of celebrating awesome people in the community. I'm looking forward to it.
We love celebrating awesome people in the community. That's what we do here on Coast Life as well. So our mission's aligned on that one.
Love it.
And sounds like it's going to be a really fun evening for people that want to get involved with that. Same thing. Is it a ticketed event? Do people need to purchase tickets ahead of time?
Yep, oceancity.org, and it's a fancy gala type thing. So yeah, buy tickets, buy tables, whatever. But it's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to this.
It sounds like it's going to be awesome. And there's something else that you guys are working on as well that's sort of going on right now.
Yeah, so in the state of Maryland, the General Assembly meets for 90 days. Okay. So it's January through early April. And a lot of bills are thrown in very swiftly.
Yeah.
So we have a legislative committee. So these are business owners, leaders in business who help me and our committee take a look at all the bills, and just to make sure that decisions made in Annapolis are not harmful to businesses here in our community. So it's a big part of what we're doing this time of year. It's all the how do you balance the budget? It's how do you manage energy and building standards and all kinds of things that some people find boring, I find interesting. But regardless, we're just looking out through the lens of what's good for Ocean City and making sure we make good choices.
I think, people kind of lose sight of how big Maryland is sometimes.
Yeah. And I remind people across the state, this is your beach too. This is the only beach in Maryland. We all have, a say in how we preserve it.
Yeah, that's a great reminder, I think, for people that you guys are out there and you're the voices for the businesses in our community, which is what helps keep and make Ocean City so special and unique.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Amy, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And for people who want to get more details on all the events and anything that's going on in Ocean City, where should they go?
Super simple, oceancity.org. Our events are there, legislative priorities are there, all the things.
Perfect. Well, Amy Thompson, thanks again for coming in with the Ocean City Chamber of Commerce. But when we get back with some more Coast Life, we've been telling you all about some really cool and interesting people with cool and interesting stories. We've got another one to introduce you to on the way.
The real estate industry was broken, but change is here and the Parker Group is leading the charge.
We're proud to introduce our groundbreaking 3.5% listing fee. Sell with us and you could save thousands of dollars.
Our cutting-edge technology delivers significant savings that we pass on to you. Our world-class marketing and dedicated team provide the human touch and unparalleled expertise that you deserve.
As passionate advocates for a more transparent and equitable selling experience, we're not afraid to challenge the status quo.
Welcome to a new era of real estate with the Parker Group.
As a fellow veteran and family-owned business, Morse Roofing and Siding loves to give back to those that have served for the freedoms of this country.
Dear Lieutenant Colonel Richard Marks, thank you for your service. In honor of your 20-plus years in the U.S. Air Force, we would like to give you, as our gift, this new CertainTeed roofing system at no cost to you.
And right now, we would like to give a free CertainTeed upgrade to any military veteran between now and December the 31st.
There's good.
There's better.
And then there's more.
Rules don't apply when it comes to designing your home or business's interior. At Mood Design Studio, we break away from typical design norms to craft one-of-a-kind spaces that belong on the pages of a magazine. Choose from a bold selection of exclusive wallpaper designs and fabrics, plus a curated selection of furniture, making any room a showstopper. Need guidance? We'll assist you in planning your space's scope and budget for a streamlined, stress-free experience. For a complimentary consultation, visit Mood Design Studio in Lewis today.
Is your home's heating system keeping you comfortable or leaving you in the cold? At Chagrin Home Comfort Products, we carry the latest in comfort innovation. Variable speed heat pumps and furnaces from Lennox. Like adjusting a dimmer switch to only use the light you need, variable speed technology delivers just the right amount of heat, saving you energy and maximizing efficiency. Ready to take control of your home's comfort and reduce your energy costs? Stop in one of our local showrooms or give us a call at 302-644-7700 to see how Chagrin Home Comfort Products can warm up your home.
See the beauty of Delmarva from a bird's eye view. Soaring over the shore, Mondays on CoastTV News at 6. Sponsored by Morse Roofing and Siding.
Severe weather can take a toll on your roof. Don't wait until it's too late. Reinvest your tax refund into your most valuable asset, your home, with a new roof from Spicer Brothers. Experience unmatched protection and durability with top quality materials and expert craftsmanship you can trust.
Have total confidence in your investment with our price match guarantee and our done right guarantee. For a limited time, get 50% off installation plus financing options as low as $99 a month.
Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
Get the CoastTV First Alert weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app, sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Late Night with Seth Meyers. Late nights on CoastTV.
Welcome back to Coast Life. Leah, I am extremely excited about our next guest because it's somebody that I've worked with personally out in the field.
I'm jealous.
We've got photog extraordinaire, our chief photog, Ted Corriero here. Ted, say hello to the people at home.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you, Ted, because I always hear the conversations back and forth, between where we sit on Coast Life and where you guys are on the news side. And I'm jealous that you and I have never really gotten to work together.
Well, yeah, it's been fun here, and I like the exchange. I like the office dynamics, and I especially like sharing some of my stories with the people I work with.
Of course,
so it's been a good time here so far.
Well, let's tell people about the stories you have because your CV is incredible. Ted has worked on Hard Copy, The Ricky Lake Show, Judge Hatchet, Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, Animal Planet, and Judge Jeanine Pirro. But the story I want to start with, Ted, is Brad Pitt knocked a camera out of your hand?
Well, okay. This was, didn't really knock it out of my hand. He made an effort. This was back in, probably 96. I worked for a TV show, Hard Copy, which some of the older folks may know. It was a tabloid magazine show that aired nationwide, and I was one of my jobs was to drive a crew around in a beat-up old van in New York City, and we would go around and get tips about celebrities being here or there, and we would go and try to find them. We would wait outside hotels or art, whatever they were doing. And so this was a premiere that they had for, I think it was Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, yeah.
And Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Pitt were showing up. And because I was the PA, they would always put me in the back somewhere. I would never be in the front, where all the red carpet was. And I was the just-in-case person. And just in case happened more often than not.
Sure.
Right.
So I remember I was in a garage, and that's where the trucks would pull in. And the door opened up and a limo pulled in, and I could see inside of it who I thought was Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow. And they were waiting there for me. I think they were probably waiting for me to get out of there or for somebody to throw me out, but nobody did. They finally got out of the limo. He walked by me. I had this little camera, and I don't blame Brad Pitt for doing what he did. And there was no real physical hard contact, but he did make an attempt to take the camera out of my hand.
Yeah.
And he walked by me, and that was that. And that was the moment I actually decided that I didn't want to do that part of the business anymore because it was. I felt, it was
sort of invading people's
personal
space.
And there's nothing against people that do that,
Sure.
but it wasn't for me. So that's what caused me to go out and seek other employment, which was I moved on to VH1
Nice.
and TV networks.
So you did VH1. What did you do for Animal Planet?
Animal Planet, that was a show that it was called From Underdog to Wonder Dog. And we took animals from shelters and gave them makeovers and trained them and groomed them. And we went through all the steps, and then we put them with an owner. And then the owner, we'd work with the owner, the new people, and got the dog a new home. So that was
that's going to be more rewarding, maybe.
Well, yeah, it was, but the old saying about working with children and animals.
Also true.
It's a little tough.
No, so true.
It's not always easy.
They're never looking where you need them to. They're never, they're going to
No, they're always, again, they got their own thing going on, but they do make the greatest stories.
Yeah.
They make good TV.
Well, Ted, it's great to talk about some of the stuff you've done in the past. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about what Ted does for us right here at Coast TV. You're not going to want to miss it.
It's Vernon Powell's winter clearance. Save up to 50% off shoes and boots, up to half off apparel and handbags. Winter clearance markdowns throughout the store on over 200 brands. Don't miss the winter clearance event at Vernon Powell, happening now in Salisbury and Rehoboth Beach.
Every visit is an adventure at Browse About Books in Rehoboth Beach. Search our hand-picked book collection and find something in every genre. From bestsellers to some of our staff picks, you'll uncover a new adventure every time. After you've browsed our extensive book selection, explore our gift shop, where you'll find an exciting array of toys, gifts, Rehoboth-themed items, and home decor. Browse About Books on Rehoboth Avenue, a fun, friendly place to shop for books and so much more.
This guy uses women for his own gain.
The boss, he had a deal sweetener for me. He's a white-collar pimp.
He wanted to close that deal, and you were the signing bonus.
SVU, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
I did the most unspeakable thing. I have to pay for my crime.
I've evaded the police for years. They can't catch me.
Everything changes.
Found new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Shell's Early Learning Center, child and parent approved.
Shells have become an extension of our family. They've helped prepare our children for school.
I love Shells. My teacher makes learning fun.
Creating a fun learning environment to prepare the children for school.
Shell's accredited staff is dedicated to preparing your child for school. Don't miss your chance to join the Shell's family. Enroll your child for fall now before it's too late. Shell's Early Learning Center, preparing our future generation.
Liberty Concrete and Enhancements. Delmarva's decorative concrete specialists. Transform your outdoor space with stamped concrete. Choose a design, color, and turn your outside into a conversation piece.
Working with Liberty Concrete was a very easy process. It's little to no maintenance at all. We love our outdoor space.
Create a beautiful space without the maintenance of pavers that's backed by our workmanship warranty. Call now for a free estimate and design your perfect outdoor space with Liberty Concrete and Enhancements.
Hard workers need tough gear. Vernon Powell has the toughest and most comfortable workwear in the business. Work boots that work hard, like Timberland Pro, Carolina, and Red Wing, to Carhartt and Darn Tough socks. Only at Vernon Powell in Salisbury and Rehoboth.
Well, Coast Life all week long, we've been introducing you to some really cool people that live here along Delmarva's coast, and we were just telling you all about Ted Corriero, one of our videographers that we are lucky enough to have here at Coast TV with us, and his experience in other markets, but we're so happy to have him here.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that now. Here, Ted, what brought you out to Southern Delaware?
Well, we were in LA, and COVID came. And that made, my wife had been working on the TV show The Doctors, which is a syndicated TV show that was nationwide, and I was working on it too. And the show was canceled in 2022, and shortly after, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and we got through that, and she's good now, she's great now.
Good.
Yes, everything worked out, and it just, things like that just change your perspective on life.
Sure.
And we said we wanted to do something completely different, and we decided to sell the house and move out here. We moved here because my in-laws were here. Nice. We used to come here on vacations. We loved it. I also wanted to live in some place other than Los Angeles. I wanted a smaller town. I wanted my daughter to grow up in a place where she could go out and I wouldn't have to worry about her, where she was or what she was doing. So we came here. My wife wanted to open up a yoga studio, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to work anywhere. I was going to maybe try, whatever, Lowe's. I had no idea. And I applied here. I found a TV station that was 10 miles from my house.
Awesome.
And I applied to Draper Media, and I remember Maddie called me up, and I told my wife, I just got a call from the anchor. And she's like, the anchor called you? In LA, that doesn't happen.
Right. Sure.
You get the call from, the
producers.
Yeah. So that was great. So I interviewed, and it just felt like a perfect place for me. And I really just... I love working here. It's been a great experience. Everybody that works here it's really, it reminds me of the old days when I first started in the TV when it was like family, and that's what this place feels like.
Well, the people at home don't know this because Ted's behind the scenes, but from like 10 seconds after Ted got in the door, stuff started looking better. Ted is incredible as a photog, as an editor, out in the field, the things that he does. And keep an eye out because I'm expecting Ted to win about a mountain of awards this year. But Ted, what has been one of your 2 or 3 favorite stories you've covered since you've been here?
Wow, there's been, first of all, I love this business because I am getting to know people in the community. Mm-hmm. And from the politicians to the people that live here, Charlie, when we went out to Matt Meyer's watch party, when he won, that was a really nice experience. And the governor of Delaware now, and it was just fun being there, and the trip out there and the whole thing. And I love the coastal connections we do.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, you get to know people, and just every day I come in here and what am I going to be working on? And every day it's something different, and the people here are just fantastic. People I work with, everyone.
Well, I will tell you, whenever you see something that's got like a really snazzy edit or maybe like like something happening, most of the time that is Mr. Ted.
I like my graphics and I like the music.
Even sometimes we on COASTLIFE are like, hey Ted, do you have a shot of like some sort of scenic shot? And we're like, do you mind if we borrow it?
I might just have that, I'll say.
Yes, well, Ted, we love having you here as part of the Draper Media family, and your story is just awesome.
Yeah.
And we love hearing him tell stories in the office as well. And like we said, we've just been loving introducing you to so many cool people. Ted is one of them, and thanks for coming on the COASTLIFE Couch today.
We appreciate it.
And fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yes, maybe for you, 2025 includes a new home. That's why we're introducing you to this week's Happy Place of the Week with our friends at the Parker Group.
Welcome to this beautifully renovated 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home located in the highly desirable Kennewick Sound community in Selbyville. The kitchen features a stylish island, sleek quartz countertops, and brand new stainless steel appliances. The custom drop zone and dry bar add practical elegance, while the cozy gas fireplace invites you to relax in the sun-filled living area. The bathroom contains modernized toilets, and the 3-season room is the perfect spot to enjoy your morning coffee. Located minutes from Fenwick Island and Ocean City, this home offers a convenient access to the beaches, restaurants, and shopping. Don't miss the open house Sunday, February 2nd from 1 to 3 p.m. Happy Place of the Week is sponsored by the Parker Group.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The Wheel You Love is back.
Yes! There it is.
Yeah, baby.
Let's have some fun.
Weeknights at 7 on CoastTV.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
The next super champion could be anyone. It could be you.
That's amazing.
On Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7:30 on CoastTV.
Unwind, work off stress, and be comfortably true to who you are with Jab and Flow. We're dedicated to creating a balance of physical and mental wellness for your best life. You don't have to get in the ring, be a hardcore yogi, or train like a pro athlete to become part of our community. We teach boxing fundamentals with a fun variety of yoga, Pilates, and fitness classes for drop-ins and members of all levels. On Route 1 between Rehoboth and Dewey with plenty of free parking.
Time to see Matt the Kuiper guy. Wait, what happened to the store? The people of Jemima have been tricked into thinking they can't buy the flooring they want. At Matt the Kuiper guy, we bring style back to your home with a wide selection of LVP starting at $1.99 and tons of carpet options. We have the color and the style at the right price. Wow, there really is no place like Matt the Carpet Guy.
Matt the Carpet Guy, magically affordable.
Signs of poor eyesight aren't always clear to us. At Wink Vision Center, we provide the best possible standard of care to discover the signs and improve your vision. Our eye exams are fast, easy, and comfortable to ensure you and your family can see clearly as soon as possible. Shop the finest selection of designer frames from Tiffany to Vera Wang, Maui Jim, and Urkers. Need an appointment? We can get you in as soon as the next day. The choice is clear. Wink Vision, Ocean City and Cambridge.
Spill the Tea is sponsored by the Spice and Tea Exchange of Rehoboth.
We are back with Coast Life, and I am so excited about this next segment because this is my very first Spill the Tea. I've seen you guys do it. I've always wanted to get a chance to do this. We've got the tea in front of us. So, Leah, why don't you walk me through how this is going to go?
Yes, I'm very excited for you to experience your first Spill the Tea as well. And our tea, of course, is thanks to our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. If you're a tea drinker, if you're a cook, they've got you covered because they've got so many spices, teas, and the works. But the tea that we are drinking today, coconut oolong tea, which I think is going to be good as it hasn't been so cold like it was before.
Right.
So this is going to be a little taste of spring. Creamy, smooth coconut is nicely blended with Baljong oolong tea. Emerald color tea leaves provide a delicate infusion with fresh floral notes. And my favorite thing too is that the store is very interactive when you go in there. So you can open the jars and smell it. Like you can smell the coconut.
It is incredible. I have actually been in the store before. My wife and I go. She loves to get a little tea game on in the morning. So we've been in there and she's done the whole interactive part of it.
It's very fun. So I will get to spilling our tea, our oolong tea, while you get to spill in our drama.
All right, let me pull up what we have this week. I think there's going to be a lot of opinions from the folks at home. Am I wrong for refusing to babysit for free? My cousin, 32-year-old female, recently asked me, 25-year-old female, to babysit her 2 kids, ages 4 and 7, twice a week while she works late shifts. She said it would really help her out since daycare is expensive and she trusts me. And while I'm happy to occasionally do this, it would take up a lot of my evenings regularly and I already have a full-time job. Now, when I asked if she could pay me a small amount to cover my time and effort, she got upset. She said families shouldn't charge each other for that help. I should do it out of love. I explained I wouldn't mind helping some, but committing 2 nights every week for free feels like too much. Now she's venting to the family, saying that I'm selfish and don't care about her struggles. My parents think I should do it to support her, but I feel like my time deserves some value, especially when this would be a regular arrangement. Am I wrong for refusing to do this for free? I'll let you start here, but I definitely have an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one because family is important and family is there for you and you want to be there for your family. But I was also the neighborhood nanny and I know how much work it is to take good care of someone's kids. You got to keep them occupied. You're picking them up, you're dropping them off. And especially when I was on top of other jobs and other things to do, that it is your time too. So I am a little conflicted about this, but I think if it's an agreement that they're coming to, like these are the details they have to work out. And I don't think it's wrong to ask for a small amount of money if it's going to be a regular arrangement.
Well, I think that is the key point here. We're not talking about hey, this weekend I've got a thing, can you help me out? It's a 2 times every week, all the time. And healthcare, or family care rather, is very expensive. We all know that, right? So if she's doing this, she is in effect saving her cousin a lot of money. There's no reason that she couldn't, if it's going to be repeated twice a week, all the time, on top of your job that you already have and work full time and are tired after. There's no reason that she couldn't get a little chunk of money if that's what they want to do. And as for the she should just do it out of love, that feels a little bit like family blackmail to me.
A little bit, and I think too because they're cousins. Sisters might be different. You're a little bit closer in relation. I know that lots of cousins do grow up as though they're sisters or brothers. And I think, maybe you can ask your parents for free health care or child care. Like that's a little bit different. But I think the cousin relationship does also shed a different light on this.
I don't like the guilt trippy part of it. I don't like that she's gone to the family to say, she'd help us. Listen, everybody gets to choose what to do with their time. It would be great if she was dying to do this and excited and whatever, but if she's got some trepidation, especially about the time commitment, they're not her kids. Like, she's helping out where she can. Again, if it was every other week or if it was every once in a while, that's a different thing. This is basically a job 2 days a week for the foreseeable future. So I don't think you can be demanding in that way. I think you should work something out.
I think you're right. And I think, I can feel the tension right now, but I think they can work through this, and now's the time.
Yes.
So it's a little rough, but hang in there. You'll figure out the arrangement. And I'm with you on, like, leave the family guilt. Leave that behind.
I think it's a good example of boundary setting, though.
Yeah.
Everybody has to set their boundaries. She was comfortable up to this point. Past that, we have to have a discussion.
Yes. All right. Well, one thing we can always agree on, the tea at the Spice and Tea Exchange is always delicious. So let's take a sip, because this is your first full experience.
That's delightful, and especially, I know it's getting warmer, but it ain't warm yet, so
warm.
This is really nice.
But yeah, it has that, like, the touch of the tropics with that smooth coconut taste, and I love coconut. So make sure you check out the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. CoastLife sent you there, and check out all the delicious teas that they have. But we got to send Charlie down the hall. He's got to get to his other gig, but we do still have a little bit more CoastLife coming your way.
All the natural light of the great outdoors, right in your dining room. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors. All the solitude of the outdoors, without the bad Wi-Fi connection. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors.
Join us for the Start Something New sales event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Millsboro. We have over 200 new vehicles on the lot ready to be driven home today, including options under $30,000 like this 2025 Jeep Compass Sport. Skip the lines, shop online at MillsboroCJR.com. Just click buy, we'll bring the car to your door. Don't miss the Start Something New sales event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Cars cost less with Preston.
We believe that a great community health system reflects the community it serves. And like Sussex County itself, we've been on an exciting journey of growth and transformation, evolving from a trusted community hospital to the region's premier healthcare provider and Sussex County's most comprehensive health system. We're proud to be on this journey together, miles ahead, but by your side the entire way, because Sussex County is our specialty.
Honor the brave men and women who served Delmarva with a CoastTV salute, sponsored by Spicer Brothers. Nominate a local veteran, a service member, or first responder at CoastTVSalutes.com.
Spark your senses at the Spice and Tea Exchange in Rehoboth Beach. Food lovers, home chefs, and tea enthusiasts rejoice. Smell and sample your way through hundreds of exotic spices and teas from around the world. Our signature blends and rubs are hand-mixed daily to ensure the highest quality and freshness. Talk to our tea experts and learn the wellness benefits of drinking fresh, loose-leaf premium teas. Find a tasteful gift for that special someone or join us for an in-store cooking demo. Find your way to flavor at the Spice and Tea Exchange on the Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. Sister locations in Annapolis, Maryland, and Old Town Alexandria, Virginia.
3 brands, 2 locations, 1 choice. Delaware Hot Tub Company, turning hot tub dreams into reality for over a decade.
Offering the most luxurious spas like hot springs and Caldera.
Now, Platinum Spas too, starting under $10,000.
Ask us about free covers, free steps, free local delivery, and 0% financing too.
Save time, save money.
And upgrade your lifestyle with the first choice in the first state,
Delaware Hot Tub Company. Hot tubs, hotter prices. Delaware Hot Tub Company, Millsboro, and Lewis.
Get the CoastTV First Alert Weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free CoastTV First Alert Weather app, sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Well, CoastLife, we just sent Charlie down the hall to get ready for the 5 o'clock news. But in the meantime, we wanted to remind you that don't forget this weekend, this Saturday, the Delmarva Job Fair. Bring your resumes, bring your suit jacket, look your best, feel confident, and introduce yourself to potential employers, because they are all going to be hanging out at the Del Tech campus in Georgetown. And if you don't have a resume on hand, that is okay, because there are some folks there that can help you write one, because maybe it's been a minute since you've had to write a resume, or maybe you've just never done it before. And if that's the case, these guys are here to help, and they are here to get you employed. So if you need more details on the Delmarva Job Fair, go to WBOCevents.com and you can get some more details there. Don't also forget that on Saturday as well, the Taylor Swift Effect Part 2 is out on CoastTV. Last week, Part 1 debuted. They were kind of taking you behind the scenes of the re-recording of Taylor's music. This week, they're talking about her effect on the NFL. Very timely. Definitely going to be worth checking out. But you know what else checking out? CoastTV News at 5. That is on the way. Have a great rest of your day, and Coast Life will see you tomorrow.